used to catering for it, and it's hard to step out of the mould.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We go.
I can
now.
I mean, crew shot. Crew shot. Got to watch the cleavage tonight, team.
We're live. Hey guys, welcome to the show. We have been away for 2 weeks, and it feels so like.
Actually, hasn't it been 3?
Oh, I don't know, but it feels like a
ages.
month. It feels like forever. Have you guys missed us? Yep. Those who've been watching on the replay, thank you. Those who are joining us live, thank you for joining us. Thank you for switching to our channel. Turn that TV
our
off.
No Netflix.
No Netflix. So
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
Intro, baby. Netflix.
Aww. Have you guys missed us? I've missed us. It's been weird, Nat, don't you think?
Totally has been weird.
Because we're in such a routine, and then all of a sudden...
it was very routine. It was like 7 weeks in.
Yeah, and then we was like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing something tonight? Oh, I'm not doing my show. What should I do?
What did you do instead? Did you watch Netflix?
Yes.
Anyway, it's intro time. Take it away, Andy.
We're back.
Oh. It always catches us.
We always do that. That's so funny. So, we're really excited tonight because we've got a guest in the studio.
We have a guest a live one in the studio.
So, wait, introduce her.
Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight, guys, is we actually got the beautiful Fee in the studio with us tonight, and what we thought would be a really cool idea is because she's in person, that we would actually have her as part of the panel discussion tonight. So she's not just sitting there like, I don't know, like, you know, Nigel Nomads. So we're going to bring her into our normal topic discussion, but first of all, we're going to kick into some interview questions with Fee. But I want to give her a quick intro because she's pretty freaking awesome. If you haven't heard of Fee from Shine On.
Am I?
Yes, you can wait.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Hello everyone.
So I've known Fee, I was trying to think actually, would it be 5 years? How long have the kids been at school?
Must be
5 years.
Must be 5 years.
So Fee is someone that I personally know, and she's a really cool person, and I know that you haven't actually done one of these interviews live before, so I just feel stoked that we have you tonight, because I'm like, yes, we got the first
Steep
interview
learning
with Fee.
curve.
I'm stoked to be here, so thank you, ladies.
So Fee, Shine On started for you in 2002. I love the idea that it started because you wanted to make a little bit of money on the side, being a mum, doing vintage clothing from Trade Me, and literally the journey from there to here is indescribable and inspiring for so many people out there. So it's one of the reasons we wanted to get you on, so welcome.
Thank you. I'm stoked to be labelled inspiring because it just feels a little bit unreal, like to think that I'm inspiring other people, but that's the most exciting part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. And actually, you've always been about that, about wanting it to be more than just clothing. That's something that, if we've ever had discussions, you've always wanted it to be about the people. I'd love to know, you know, a little bit, take us right back, how you started, why you started, and then just tell the story, how you ever want it to come out, and then we'll just ask questions around that.
Okay, so how did we start Shine On? So basically, I mean, I've got a bit of a background in a few different things. Fashion was always a part of my life. I worked in Rendell's. Does anyone remember Rendell's?
Yes! Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's like a throwback.
I was a Rendell's shopper when I was
Is
young.
it like Decca times, eh?
Yeah,
It
like
was,
Decca.
it was such a good time.
Rendell's makeup.
In the $2 section.
In the bins.
Yeah, it was so good. So I worked at Rendell's, and like, I'm from a family where we worked from young. Like, I think my first job was when I was 11 at the local dairy, and I knew pretty quickly that I wasn't going to get anything out of my parents money-wise because I'm one of 7. So a lot of people don't know that about me. I'm from a big family, and there was not really much to go around in the way of, like, if you wanted something, you had to pay for it yourself. So my first job was at the dairy, second job was at Rendell's, and then I went from Rendell's to like a few other fashion places, and then Saturdays, which was like a surf shop on the shore.
Oh my god, Saturday!
Yeah.
This is like going down memory lane.
Favourite shop.
That is
Was
so
it?
cool.
Yes,
It was such a
I
good
used
store.
to go in there. I wonder if we knew each other because I used to go in there all the time and buy all my clothes from Saturdays.
Hey, I just want to interrupt this for someone just said that they are watching us instead of watching the finale of
No.
Married at First Sight.
No way.
That is big. That is
That
from
is
Anita.
huge.
Come on now. That
Yeah,
is
like
serious
hello.
stuff.
Well
I mean,
done.
this person is obviously recording Married at First Sight, but that's okay. That's cool. That's still, like, I'm going to take that as a win.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Back to Saturdays. This is a great
Oh
strong.
my gosh, Saturdays.
Yeah,
So
so
I was so
Saturdays-
upset when it just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, I was upset too, but
Yeah.
that's another story in itself. But.
Yeah.
So Saturdays, I actually worked with this amazing manager called Ellie, who now manages Shine On the coast.
No
Oh,
way.
Yes, way.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's brilliant.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's who Ellie is. So she was my manager at Saturdays, and so I learned a lot there about women, about clothing. I pretty much knew that I had something there. With regards to sales, I knew I was different to other people, and that my skill was sales. It just stood out to me that I could sell iced Eskimos, and that I wasn't selling something that was not, I wasn't not providing a service. I was providing a really valuable service. I was making women feel good, and I liked it. And at the same time, I was at university studying social work, so I thought I was going to be a social worker. That was kind of like my thing. But I realised getting into social work that was something that I wasn't very good at all. And there's another link there as well, because my friend who I met at university, a very close friend of mine, has now just started at Shine On as our charity coordinator. So
Oh wow, that's super
yeah,
cool.
so that's a cool little link
Yeah.
as well. So anyway, I don't want to rattle on too long, but social work wasn't for me. I was, I guess you described me as being a bit emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to tell everyone.
Sensitive.
You've got to tell everyone what your awesome packer said to you. Cause
Oh
that was
yeah, I just
cute.
got a message from. I don't know where to look. I feel quite okay.
Over
okay.
there.
The dead cat.
And then sometimes he'll take us over that one there.
So
Okay.
when we're all talking together, we look at that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You
So-
just chat and be yourself. It'll
Yeah.
be awesome, and he'll sort it.
He'll
okay.
figure it out.
All right. Also, I just got a message from Vajish, who's our packer, and he said, "Fee, whatever you do, don't get emotional.
Aw,
You know,
that's who you are, though.
Be the girl
Yeah.
boss that you are, and don't be emotional." Because whenever we're doing, like, we have these work meetings, on a Monday, everyone gets together, and I have my little spiel, and I always get quite emotional because it's like, everyone's looking at you, and
Like now.
they're all being so awesome, and you're quite proud of them, and quite excited, and then just the tears, and everyone's like, "Oh, Fee, come on," But
Yeah.
anyway, so social work
That's
wasn't for
nice.
me, and then so I found myself a little bit undecided about what I was going to do then, and then someone helped me. A member of my family, my sister Cheryl, helped me get a job at Vodafone, and Vodafone was awesome. And that's where I learned, like, that hard graft pays off, because I was, I guess I just, straight away, I was on the phones and I was learning how to sell on the telephones. It wasn't the most amazing job in the world.
Cold calling.
Cold calling. But man, I just would not ever trade that experience for the world. Like, that was just some of the best, it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because it just taught me so much about sales, and I sort of went on to do a bit of sales training with other people, and then I actually became a trainer at Vodafone. So that was what I did, and then I soon realised I wanted to have kids, and I met Jean, and corporate life just didn't fit in with my life plan, obviously.
Corporate
because
life.
yeah, it's busy and it's just long hours, and I was
Yeah.
often going in on the weekend, and I was obviously it was not ideal, and I was from a really entrepreneurial family. Like, everyone had their own
family's amazing.
business.
Hey,
Everyone.
we've just got a message in from Jane, actually. Hey, babe, keep it punchy.
Okay,
Jane, we're going punchy.
Keep it punchy.
okay, I'll keep it punchy, babe. Oh my gosh.
God, they're so demanding.
All right, so that's what happened, and then we didn't have any money, and then I had heaps of cool clothes in my wardrobe, and I sold them on Trade Me, and we made a ridiculous amount of money. I remember in the first week we were like, whoa man, we're selling t-shirts for $70, and they're like, oh, we've been wearing them for like 3 years. This is me and my husband, by the way, who just told me to be punchy. And so that was like when Trade Me first started, and I was still at Vodafone.
Yeah, wow.
And I said to Jean, you know this thing Trade Me, I reckon like me and Trade Me could be like this. Like I've got this really good vibe about it. I think I should leave Vodafone, and I think I should sell, just sell. And he was like, cool. So we did that, and then obviously I started to have to find things to keep that going. I couldn't just sell my wardrobe.
Yeah.
So
the shirt off your back. Okay.
So where did you go to find stuff?
So op shops, we vintage shops, and me and Jean would just do it together. Like even when we had our babies real small, like we'd have the front pack on, and we would just vintage shop. We'd go out South Auckland, we'd go Hamilton, and we would just rummage and find. And we sort of did a lot of leather products, because leather products you can make quite a good profit on.
Yeah.
So you can buy for 20, sell for 150, and we made a living on Trade Me. It was awesome. And
Is it because you loved the vintage though, Fee? Like, was there always a connection to what you were selling? Like, I love this so much about what you were selling?
I think so. I think I've always had like a real passion for vintage clothes, because they're just well made. And am I being punchy?
No.
Don't worry about it. Get out, Jean.
Jean's like totally ruined my flow, man.
Jean, this is a woman's show.
So if you guys are watching
That's not
us
a good
live,
shot. Take that one off.
And no side view, Andrew. I told you that before. So if you guys are watching this live and you have any questions for any of us, just jump in and put them in. We'll find them, and when we've got time, we will answer them.
Sophie, you've left Vodafone. Jean's still at work. You are at home selling stuff off Trade Me that you've been around the op shops looking for. Then what?
So then we thought we need a platform that's not Trade Me. So we need to sort of be in control of it, because obviously with Trade Me you have got, someone else could pull the rug out from under you. It's not your baby, it's someone else's. And I have to say I'm incredibly grateful to Trade Me, because they were like such a huge part of what got us started in Shine On, and I'm still really grateful to the way that they looked after us. So we started shineon.co.nz, and we had such an amazing loyal customer base that they were so willing to come and buy from us on there. So we were still selling vintage. We would still shop and load up our vintage items, and we obviously, when we had 2 children, it was becoming more and more difficult, because each item that we got, we had to shoot.
Right,
talk
so
about.
It really changed it up.
Yeah, so each item was like, had to be picked by us, had to be shot by us, often with me sort of in the bedroom. You go back. A lot of my customers, I don't know.
Someone just said I used to shop Shine On Trade Me.
Yeah,
I
totally.
used to shop Shine On Trade Me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's lots of people that that shop Shine On and Trade Me, and I've got lots of people that are really involved with me that way still, like chatting to me from those days. So,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and so then it just went from there. My brother got involved as well. Like that's what's sort of taken it to the next level. But I can talk about that if you want me to. But I am prattling on a lot. So
hey, but the show was all about you, and I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to get you on, because of where you started and where you're from now. And so someone's going to take that and go, well, if Fee can do it, and we're always that beacon for people, like, with my story of being corporate and leaving it too, and not having to go back and work for someone else, we're always going to be that for someone. So it's really important that you feel like you're prattling on. So many people are saying, this is amazing, thank you, because they want to hear and see it. So,
and especially because you've done it backwards as well. You've done online and then got a store, and that's really sort of what people do usually, in my experience, is they have a store first and then they move to online.
Yeah.
So you've really done it quite backwards, which is really good as well, the fact that you've done that.
You know how you said that you used to work at Rendell's and Saturdays? Peg, have you worked anywhere random like that?
Oh, I'm a Burger King girl.
Oh yeah! I don't know why I'm laughing, because I'm the fish and chip
I'm all
kid.
about the food.
Well, Burger King's awesome. Their salad burgers are so good.
I never did retail, but I sold mortgages in Australia. So a Kiwi in Australia who's in their 20s didn't have a mortgage, selling mortgages to Australians.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
God,
so Mike and I went and lived in Australia for 2 years, thought we'd give it a go, and I was like, hey, do you want to buy a mortgage? Like, what was I saying? What? Who was I? And like you said about the cold calling, because it was cold calling. Wow, talk about set a whole new. Yeah. So now I'm really good at sales because I'm like, I can pick up the phone and talk to an Australian and get them to buy a mortgage off me.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
So we're just going to segue into what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, just to break up, because Nat and I have had some massive things happen over the last 2 weeks. So. Nat, do you want to go first? Because I think yours is probably
is it
way better than
I'm something like what's happening. Okay, so some of you all know that behind me here is a new logo. So I had to move away from my earpiece is coming out. I had to move away from Catapult due to some various reasons which I can't go into. But just that I've moved back into my name. And so Andy, I think we've got a cool picture just while I fix my head. Like Mr. Potato Head. There we go. So, as you'll see on the screen, I love my new logo. I took it to an artist. So she's primarily an artist, and she is also a graphic designer. But I went to her because the fact that she does awesome graffiti art, and I wanted to zhuzh the brand up. And anyway, her name's Kate Hursthouse from Scribble Me, and she's just phenomenal. Go check her out. She's doing a really cool suffragette program at the moment. Anyway, back to my brand. So I was really nervous, right? And you'll probably get this too, Fee, is that I've been known for Catapult and that picture for 3 years. So I've been doing it 3 years. So it was a really big move to go
change it
up and put myself behind it, like really back it. So I was really nervous, and then seeing it and then putting it out. It's been so well received.
Yeah, I think, it's wonderful. It's a beautiful logo.
Thanks,
it's great branding as well, and I think you did a good job. And what's great about it is you've built your brand up really well anyway. It's not like you were just Catapult. Natalie Tolhopf came with that, smashed it together. So just dropping the Catapult hasn't been such a big deal, I feel.
Thanks, P. I just want to talk about why I'm not so sweaty tonight, because there's actually a frickin' reason, team. So I haven't detoxed off anything for 6 years, right? So I've never detoxed and cleansed. So I decided to do a coffee detox. I'm day 3 in, and I'm someone who I drink at least 2 long blacks a day. Dude, it's been
You haven't been coping.
It's been unreal. There's been a lot of Panadol going down.
Really?
Yeah.
Headaches.
Like, I actually understand. Like, I know anyone who is addicted to anything more than caffeine out there, I actually have an understanding of what it would be like to cocaine or heroin. Like, it's that strong. Anyway, that's what I've been doing through. So if you're going to go do a coffee detox, really think about it.
Do it in the holidays when you don't
I'm
have to
not
work.
doing any coffee detox. No
Exactly.
way.
I thought I'd give it a go. So, doing it for some health benefits, but that's what I've been up to. What about you, P?
Let's talk about me.
Stop talking.
So me, I've had some amazing news. One of the big things is a few big things. One is I became, as of yesterday, debt-free.
Yeah, that's awesome, P.
So after 2 years after my marriage broke up, I finally have been debt-free. So it's kind of, I felt really sick this morning because even though I'm debt-free, my bank account is empty. So it's like, oh no, I've got to start again. But it's a great feeling once you slowly, I've been quite rigid, I guess, in the way that I've done it. It was a lot of money. And one of the best feeling was paying off my son's school fees because he went to private school. So that was a huge deal. So I got to do that. And this week I had something exciting happen. So I got this challenge sent to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just show a little clip of what I had to do. I think this challenge was designed to kill me because look at all the stairs. So I got sent there's 3 challenges that I had to complete. It's part of my 42 project. And you know me, I don't really think things through. I'm like, let's go.
Is that because you're 42, P?
Not yet, but I'm 42 soon.
Just wanted to add that in.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Great, all the
just
40s.
Bring it up. So yeah, my 42 project, if you guys don't know, my 42 project is I have to complete 42 things before I turn 43. And some of them are quite crazy. One is I'm getting a tattoo, which happens in a week. And I don't like needles, so it's going to be pretty cool. Jump out of a plane is another one.
Share it on your group?
And so this challenge that I got sent, I had to find 3 clues. And I jumped into it without really thinking, and I was like tramping in the bush for about 3.5 hours, and I got to find 3 things. And now I've got the next clue. So had to do 4 things, and it's quite, I can't tell you what it is, but tomorrow the video releases, so check it out. It's a little crazy if you want to see Pauline thrashing around in the bush. It's a good watch, I'll tell you.
Thrashing around
there
in
was
the bush.
There was a bit of tears, I tell you, a bit of tears. And the other great thing is...
You're not going to talk about
that's going to
tiny
get
houses.
I'm going to talk about tiny houses because... did you put up the photo?
Okay, that's right.
So this here is the land of my tiny house. See how excited I am? Stop talking, it's all about me.
Sorry.
No.
It's because we're on our mics.
Don't wheel back so far. So this is the land for my so bossy. This is the land for my tiny house. It is absolutely amazing location. So pretty much now I have to build the tiny house, right? I got the land. What's the next step? Building the tiny house. So yes,
That's cool. It's still on the coast though, right?
You know what? It is on the coast. I can't tell you where it is because it's secret, but it's like really close to where you live.
Really?
Oh,
That's cool.
And it's such a beautiful location. And what's even
That's
good
cool.
about it, what's the best thing about it is I get to build a tiny house with one of my friends, Claire. She's also building a tiny house.
You're doing it with Claire Conza?
Yeah. So Claire and
You know
I
Claire,
are building
eh?
a tiny house together.
Who does it make live
Cool.
good?
Yeah, I know Claire.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Claire.
So
She's lovely.
we're going to be neighbours in a particular location. So
Awesome.
I know.
That's so fun.
So there we go. So now we're going to jump into our business side of the business. Talking about business things.
Just want to apologise because Donna's like, Nat, I could hear you talking in the background. Apologies, P, when you were doing that. When you were trying to talk about you and I was then talking about me.
Yeah, I know.
Apologies. Public apology for that.
Typical.
So let's jump back to Fee so she can take us from...
Yes.
So Fee, we were at where you were doing stuff online. So you had shineon.co.nz, the website. Take us from there to where you are now, because that's an epic. It's a huge journey from here.
Yeah.
We just worked for years actually, me and Jean, from like the basement of our house and raising our kids and buying and selling vintage. But we realised obviously that we couldn't sell vintage forever, and I think we got our first supplier when we had moved to the coast, like a proper supplier. I tried to get suppliers for a long time, but no one would look at me because we were online. So
interesting.
online was kind of like not how it is now.
Yeah.
Retail stores were like the biz, you know, like if you didn't have a retail store, no one would look at you.
Yeah.
So so it was hard to get somebody to supply me, and I sent a lot of emails and called a lot of places and got a lot of rejections, and that's when my cold calling skills came in. But I think like one company took a chance on me, and I think within the first couple of weeks they realised that we could potentially be their biggest customer. Just because we had the people, we just didn't have the staff, you know. So I don't know if this is valuable to you guys, if you want to know what I've learnt.
Yeah, it totally is.
Absolutely.
Because actually it'd be one thing is like, if someone was starting out now, it would be like, okay, what would you do differently? But it's that's a question itself is interesting, because if you did it differently, you wouldn't have the journey. So would the outcome be the same? So
I don't know. Like I think sometimes part of what's made Shine On successful, I think, has been the journey, and also people have seen the real hard times. And it's been really important to me to have that connection with my customers. And part of that connection has been actually saying to them, actually, it's really hard at the moment, we're struggling, or like Facebook's been great for that because you can just keep that conversation going all the time. And I think over the years I've just had so much support. Like some of these women have actually been buying off me for 12 years. even when I had nothing to sell, there was times when I had nothing to sell, and I still knew we had something really special. And so, of course, when we got the stock, the floodgates opened, and everyone just went crazy, and Shine On has just grown from there. But there's been some real instrumental moments in the last sort of 2 years, part of which was like realising that I didn't have the skills that I needed to grow it. I think the realisation, coming to that realisation was real crucial for me as a business owner. Like
it's really big for you, babe.
Yeah, it was big. I was creative, I was clever with buying, and I was good with fashion, but I was pretty much shit at everything else, to be honest. I had no idea about accounting. Thank God for my sister. My sister's an accountant, and she helped me from day dot with Trade Me. So she just stepped in free of charge and just always did my accounts. So I was always okay and sort of above the law and all that and doing the right thing. But that was solely because I had such a great sister. So I actually don't know how I could have done it without my siblings, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, all those people in business, I take my hat off to you. If you're doing it alone, if you're the accountant and the buyer, the seller, everything. I mean, everyone's in different types of business, but I still don't really know where to look.
Over there, babe.
But yeah, I just think
He'll find you,
for me it was sort of like a realisation that, whoa, man, I can't grow this anymore. Then I'm in my basement. I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And that's. Yeah, this one? Okay, cool. And then my brother came along, and that was a couple of years ago, and he pretty much said at the time, and it's so funny now when I think about it, because obviously we've got 33 staff now.
That's crazy. Wow. That's
so
amazing.
I'm like, I can't even imagine only having one computer, but I literally had one computer in my house. You came to visit me.
I'm giggling. I'm like,
but I had shelves and shelves of clothes.
Yeah. And everyone would be there around one computer.
And I had
remember going, Fee, you've got to show someone how to do this. I've just got one computer. Yeah.
I mean, I laugh now because it's so funny. But with my brother, I said, can you come help me? And he came and he goes, oh, well, you need another computer so that someone can pack the parcels. And he said, not just you. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, I knew that, but I just couldn't do it because I physically never had brought a computer in my life. So it was actually getting the computer, like he had one there the next day, and it was set up and it was functioning, and I was like, whoa, okay, now I can have a packer. And so from there we just went.
The packing.
Yeah, someone else was packing, and so obviously I was selling more, and then suddenly we had 2 computers, and then I think that's when Jenna came to work for us. And
Fee, how have you been with Delts for someone who's had the whole ship to themselves and taking the whole load and then having to delegate? How's that been?
It's been so hard initially because I'm quite a strong, controlling person, and I often feel like, if I'm not doing something, how on earth is it going to work? Bro, you might just make a mistake there, or you might choose the wrong product. I tell you what, buying has been the hardest thing to hand over for me, because that has been, it's just Shine On has been my baby, but the freedom that comes from delegation is second to none. It is so amazing, and I'm so blessed to be in a position now where being one person or having 33 staff, I would choose 33 staff any day of the week. It is so much less stressful than being one person.
So how you've gone from like one person, asked for how to grow, delegated. How's that actually impacted your personal relationships and your health?
My health? My health is pretty... See, I'm an A-type personality. Yeah. I don't know...
Workaholic.
Yeah, I'm a workaholic.
We could be all
A.
We're a panel of A.
Yeah.
So I definitely am a workaholic. So I don't know whether how free I am in business is kind of like, I don't know whether that dictates how I am health-wise. Yep. I think because my brain is never devoted to me, never. All I think about as soon as I get up in the morning is what am I going to do to achieve today? How much am I going to achieve? I better get started. That's how my brain thinks, you know. I've always thought like that.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's quite funny working alongside my brother because we have this little joke because we just don't drink or eat or anything really. We have to remind each other, and sometimes he'll plonk a glass of water in front of me, and sometimes I'll put one in front of him, or Jean will bring one each for both of us, and just to drink, because our A-type personalities just keep us so focused on the job. So balance has been a real hard thing to manage. But
I don't think there is anything called balance.
No, with business it's hard.
Yeah.
I guess it's finding that balance each day. Hey, right, how can I achieve something and kind of be in a little bit of balance, or just be happy, or just be happy with your chaos.
Yeah.
But then having, you know, just, I mean, balance is like every day you're working towards having balance.
Totally.
I think it more works like one day full on, maybe I get 20 minutes the second day, and Saturday I sleep in. Do you know what I mean? So
I think you have to take yourself away sometimes. You have to know yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I know that if I've got a computer around me, I won't relax. But if I take myself away for a weekend with my kids and my husband, you know, and there's no computers, no phones allowed, then we'll just completely switch off.
That's good.
You guys must find that the same, like, especially being in businesses like yours, which is just like online all the time, right?
I'm online all the time.
Yeah.
We had this talk about the other week about where our phones are, because mine's beside my bed.
Yeah, so I now charge my phone up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the habit now of while the kids are having breakfast. This sounds really wanky and cliche, but I do my journaling while the kids are having their breakfast, because they're now that little bit older. And I now have some new office space, so I've bought into some office space. And for me, when I get home, it's not now straight back on my computer. I'm actually, let's do some homework. And dinner will be on the table early. Like, I've really made those changes.
Yeah, you have to. If you're going to, you know, be happy.
If the hubbies are going to stick around.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm a bit different because I work in crisis, so I do have to have my phone, especially with the type of clients. But on the weekends, like, I pull myself out and say I'm unavailable.
Yeah, because you've done the work for government where you've been like 4 o'clock, you've had to get up, you've had to just be available. Like,
so
it's crazy.
It's a habit as well. Like, now that I'm not doing as much, but I still am constantly. I mean, the first thing I do in the morning is read the news headlines at 5 a.m. That's the first thing I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Because I want to be first, and then I can text who I need to text. Like,
what's happening?
Oh, we're gonna have to work on this. You know. So it's always been,
Fee, what then, do you have some advice for people who are in that growth mode? So maybe they've got their basement downstairs, they're like, they've got their one computer, and they're like, I know this is a good thing, I need to grow. What advice would you give them?
I think it's always that real quandary that you're stuck in. It's that quandary that I was always in, which was I don't have the money to pay someone else. And I was completely pulled out of that hole by my brother, who didn't obviously expect payment straight away. So I had family there, and I just don't, like, I see all these people in the same position as me. I can't get someone to help me with admin. I mean, even you, Nat, you told me you need to take that leap. But for me, it was always a money thing. Well, I've only got this certain amount of money coming in. How can I survive if I pay someone else? But how can you keep going and actually never, ever have a break if you don't let go and delegate? So that would be, was that the question? Like, what piece of it?
I mean, I think it's great, because so many business owners get stuck in there. I mean, even in the beginning, I was like, I'm not gonna. But if you start small, it's okay to start small. You don't have to hire someone for 20 hours. I think we started someone with 5. 5 hours a week. And then slowly you realise what you can. I mean, most of us business owners were like, hold on, like dead life, like, I can't give this to anyone else because no one else can do it as good as me. And then half the time they do it better, faster and more efficient.
They actually do. And they bring something different and fresh to it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really good advice, Ben. I think, like, you know, like, if everyone doesn't have, like, the family connections, there's always, you found a way through. Okay, I don't feel like I've got the money now, but what can I do? And you reached out and asked for help. And always, there's going to be a lot of people out there who will give you some help, or, you know, 5 hours a month just to get you started. So you're right. It was about, you know,
Yeah, it
make
was
it
about
happen.
and letting go a little bit. Letting go.
All your staff are watching, they'll be like, oh yeah, letting go. No, they're not saying that. Actually, one of your youngest staff members is watching. I can't find his comment, it's gone. Anyway, he thinks you're awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Honestly, like, I have the best staff ever, but I can't get emotional, so I won't. But we I've been so blessed with the right people. That's another piece of advice. Do the right thing, man. Like, when you do the right thing in your business, and this is something that my brother said to me. He said, if you, like, pay your taxes and pay the right amount,
Yes.
you know, don't put things through the business that shouldn't be going through the business. Be completely responsible as a person, like, ethically. Pay well, look after your staff, always do the right thing, and your business is going to crank, because there is such a thing, you know. I mean, I don't really know what karma means, but I know that you do good, you receive, and that's sort of what we, like, all of our staff are all on board. We sort of, the more we talk about Shine On, the more we get excited about the platform that we have. And I just think, if I can offer some advice to businesses, it is to think a little bit more about what you can do for others. Also, doing the right thing, and just never be dodgy with money. Never, ever, ever be dodgy with money, because it comes back. And I've seen it happen to people, you know. So that's a little bit of advice as well. I don't know if this is what you're
It's
wanting.
totally
It's
is, babe.
so
This is it.
good.
Yeah.
Be
That's
raw and real, and just how it comes out is perfect. Actually, your brother, Cliff,
Sometimes your life has to be in balance for a period of time to achieve anything worthwhile.
That's right.
So
Sometimes
actually-
you have to
yeah.
hustle.
you have to grind,
get-
you have to hustle, you have to make your eyeballs
Yeah.
bleed,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, to get things done. And I think that's where people are like, oh, find the ease and the flow. It's actually like, well, sometimes you have to have a 70-hour week when you're first
Yeah.
starting out to get some shit done.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely
you have to know how bad it can be.
Yeah. You like have to. Because I mean,
And
if
how
you,
you want it
bad
to be.
places.
Yeah, and how you want it to be.
because
Yeah.
if you went in business and you just were like, oh, I might work today, or I'll watch some Netflix. I mean, you have to hustle, as you know.
Yeah,
but then
totally.
the great thing about it is, like, I've hustled for, I don't know, it seems like forever now, but for the first time ever, I took 6 weeks off at Christmas. I shut everything down, and that's the first time I've ever done that. And
That's
it's been
awesome.
And this year, I feel like I'm not working that much at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've got all these plans.
paved
I'm
that
going
way.
to South. I'm going South.
No.
I'm going to America in September. I'm just thinking about going to Italy in July. So I'm still sort of working, but I'm not hustling as much as I was. But I had to hustle a lot to get myself in a position that I could do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to hustle. But I think the most important thing is, like, getting very familiar with yourself, and when it's time to, you know, when you're pushing too far, that you've got to ease back and look after yourself.
Totally.
Hey, so guys, let's talk about Facebook algorithms.
Oh,
Because that's fun.
That's
Right?
actually the
Geek
topic.
out on it.
yeah. Who saw my rant last week? I had to delete it. It was such a bad rant. I was like, I would never let my clients do that. I
So
was like,
P being the social media strategist,
Yep.
social media strategist, tell us what you think about Facebook algorithms, and then Fee's going to tell us how she just kicked the algorithms to the curb with her group.
so she makes me look bad.
I didn't
No,
actually.
no.
I didn't actually kick the algorithms to the curb.
You did. It
So
sounded
yeah,
good.
I mean, I wasn't too, when the Facebook algorithm came out, I wasn't too worried about it, because I was like, it's all about engagement. Engagement's going to get you through. But actually, last 3 weeks, I've been really frustrated, not so much on my client's page. It seems like my page has been, I've just felt like I've been slowly crunching down, and my engagement has just, like, dropped incredibly. So I'm, like, really frustrated. I'm just like, oh. And especially when you pay a lot of money, because I do a
Yeah.
lot of advertising for my clients, and I do a lot of advertising in Facebook for certain campaigns as well. So I feel like I should get more reach than other people. And Nat was telling me that's not fair. But
I was like, that's not fair.
But it has been a frustration, and I know a lot of businesses are really struggling at the moment. For me, you know, and the same with you, I'm sure you're going to talk about, I have the groups. I have my groups, and I set those up many years ago. So I still have that ability to get where I need to go without paying any money, so that's kind of good. But it is frustrating. Like, a lot of people, there's this massive campaign at the moment on Twitter about delete Facebook, and they're doing ads. Facebook are actually doing ads overseas that if you deactivate, they're trying to, if you go to delete your account, you get an ad that says don't delete, just deactivate. So that tells you enough to know that something's happening in Facebook, and there's a lot of unhappy people around. So a lot of people are getting discouraged, especially when you've spent years and years working on your business page and suddenly you're reaching 10 to 20 people and you've got thousands and thousands of followers. So
it's not fair.
I think it's a really interesting point that always goes back to the business foundations where we all know it, not to have your eggs in one basket, right?
That's right.
So to build and only have Facebook. Make sure you got people down your database so that you can email to. And that was just a really good reminder to, none of us own Facebook, and so you had to get them back into your database. And it actually helped me be able to show my clients that if your content was still good, yes, my engagement dropped, but it didn't drop enough for me to panic. I still had people showing up on my page, and I think it goes back to you got to be sharing frickin' meat burgers to frickin' hamburger eaters, not hamburgers to vegetarians. So that is
content is really important. It's got to be. You've got to have great content.
You've got to be sharing some good shit.
Yeah, I was with Auckland Humanity today, and they have such good content. They get such good reach. They do these amazing videos, and it is all about content. So if you're not getting that, if the algorithm isn't working for you, then really look at the content, and maybe, in the olden days, Gary Vee, he was doing 67 posts a week. That even has reduced down. So think about the quality of the content and maybe do less content and make that content really top notch.
Now, Fee, you actually put something up in a group the other day, and I actually said to Pauline, I agree that I think the algorithms changed back, where the reach has got better. So it kind of went down, and then it's come back up.
Yeah. I have regular chats with Facebook about it, just because I'm in the lucky position to have a manager there. And so I have this wonderful guy. Hi Luke, if you're watching.
Hey Luke.
So he helps me a lot with this stuff and puts my mind at ease, because of course when this sort of thing happens to me, it's like, it's not just about me anymore.
You worry about your staff, hey?
Yeah, it's like, okay, what if that's it? And what if I have to tell these 33 wonderful people that I can't sell anymore? So that, again, like putting all your eggs in one basket, really important that you don't. As much as I'm also really grateful to Facebook, I think emails, which you guys are going to talk about, that is just such a key thing, is to have that wonderful email address. Like one email address is more valuable to me than anything, really. Like it's gold. So emails, having a presence, like having a real, being in touch with your customers with a brand is important. Something that's going to make them want to look for you, as opposed to always needing to be found on Facebook. And that's where content comes in. You've got to have good content, and it has to sort of have a personal. I've found over the years, like the more personal my posts. The more reach that they have and the more engagement they have, the more people feel like they're relating to you and they don't see you so much as this is a big corporate. So if you're out there in business and you're trying to engage with people on Facebook, the key is just to do more you, talk more you.
Yeah.
Talk
I
more
always use you and shine on for my clients, and I say, because I think that products can be really boring because people don't put themselves or a person or any human behind the brand. So that is awesome point that you said that, because it's so important. Tell us how you and why you set up your group, because you've got some groupies on here already saying they're in the VIP group and they love it. And
well, I probably will talk to them about this later. I'm not sure, I don't know, I feel like the VIP group was an instant knee-jerk reaction to the algorithm change, because, Luke told me Luke, my Facebook manager, told me it was coming and not to be scared. He said it's not, I don't really want to say stuff in case I don't know if I should say stuff, I don't know, but I feel like a little bit, he wanted to put my mind at ease and say that it could change back. It might.
They're just testing it.
Yeah,
it's a test and measure.
So is that kind of like a known thing, or I don't know? But I feel like it was quite. I don't know. I felt a peace about it. The reason I felt a peace about it, I think, is because I know that I advertise with Facebook and I spend a lot of money with them. And if you spend money with a business, and then suddenly you're not getting much traction from them and you're spending less, I mean, how is that going to be valuable to them?
It made no sense.
So we knew it wasn't going to be valuable to them, so I pretty much saw that they would see that I, and along with a lot of other businesses, would probably start spending less, and they perhaps might change things back a bit. I'm not sure, I don't know, but all I know is I kept spending money and I kept posting, and things are okay. And I'm still getting a lot of traction, and I would recommend that everybody did the same. The group is such an amazing thing that I wish I'd done 5 years ago, but I didn't, and that's okay. But I didn't realise how interactive a group could be. So if you're on Facebook and you've got just a page and you've got a business, I would recommend getting a group ASAP. Like, you can totally, it's like, I don't know, you can chat with your customers, it's just such a more personal way of relating with each other.
So I'm just going to read out what one of your group's people said, because I think it's really awesome, and I've been in your group for a little while and tried not to buy, and it doesn't work either. Anyway, and this is what I love really about it, is that you're empowering so many women to love themselves and feel good about themselves. Like the woman who was sharing how they look, it's just amazing.
They're empowering each other, man. Like, I'm not really.
No, but you started the platform.
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's such a blessing.
So Andrea says, Fee has created this amazing VIP group, which is definitely a point of difference from other clothing retailers. Empowering other women to feel great about themselves and to celebrate different body types has been so successful, and what her clothing looks like on a variety of women has been amazing and so uplifting. Because that's actually probably one of the biggest things that you've had a lot of.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you.
Hey, is people going, what does it look like in a real person?
Yeah, so that was like, this is another thing. I'll just give one more little piece of advice. Your customers will tell you what they want.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So they will always say, bro, and this is what happened last week. Your website's not working, bro. Like, every time I click on something, this is what they were saying last week in the group. It's taking me back to the start. It's so frustrating. And we're like, oh, we didn't know, because how often do I go shopping on Shine On? Never.
Yeah.
Right? So they tell you what they want, and they have also said to me, obviously, we want bigger sizes, we want flattering clothes, we want everyday models, we want people that look like us wearing the clothes.
Except Kira and Nix, because every time she wears something, I go and buy it.
Yeah, she has that effect on people, for sure.
Man, she's amazing.
But I think that the thing is that, you know, we can change the way that fashion is just from doing it differently. And that's the cool thing about being in a business where you've got quite a lot of people behind you, is that you can make changes. But the point is that if you listen to your customers, they will guide you into the best that your business can be. If your customers tell you to do something, do it. If you ask for feedback and they tell you they're not happy, change it. That is, of course, if it's in fitting with making a profit. Like, obviously, you have to be making a profit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you do need to listen to your customers, because your customers do know best. And my customers have made my business, not me. I would never have known to have chosen these clothes. Like, I've completely changed what I've brought based on what they've wanted.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you're so open to that feedback's amazing.
I think most people are open in their everyday life to other people. Like, if someone says, whoa, man, you are not doing that very well, you never call me back, you might go, oh, yeah, I do never call you back. Okay, I might call you back next time, you know. So, like, you're open to it in other walks of life. But a lot of people in business are like, whoa, I'm defensive because you're hurting my business and you're hurting my feelings, and I'm not going to make any changes because this is how I am. Like, and that's really like business suicide as far as I'm concerned. I think that's what's grown Shine On. But also, I haven't done this by myself, and I could never have done this. So I just want to say again,
it's a
group effort, and bringing in people with different brains to you is really important as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's powerful.
There's a question that's come in that would be good for you, P. So Jessica has said about groups, I have really struggled to find a really good purpose for my group, if that makes sense.
It depends on what, Jessica, do you want to tell us what business?
I can tell you what Jessica,
Oh, good.
I think, is in health and wellbeing.
Oh, Good Habits NZ?
Yeah, so I chatted with her because I saw a message from her in a group saying that she was really concerned about the algorithm, and it made me feel for her because I remember being her.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I wrote to her and she wrote back, and I shared a few things about what I thought would help her.
So
One
she's
of which
not sure
was
which.
She just wants to, she's struggling to
so
find
the
a
group.
purpose.
She needs a purpose. Yeah. Her group is kind of like a health and wellbeing group, and I think like she's selling things as well. So she's doing drink bottles and other amazing products. But I think she might feel like she needs a reason for people to come in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a reason.
So like a topic, like a bigger, not just something to sell products, but maybe more of a story.
So, well, here's a prime example. I was having a conversation with you ages ago, Fee, and you were like, Nat, you need a business group. And I was like,
no, don't do it.
Who needs another business group? I always thought that. Who needs to hear another business group? Because there's amazing ones like the We and New Zealand Network. I was like, no one needs that. So I really get that, Jessica, in terms of that. So what I had to do is I had to think about, well, what do I value? What do I really give people? And so I now have an imperfect action group. So we don't talk about biz, we do, but we talk about how you've got to take action, imperfect action, to take it. So I understand where Jessica's stuck on the purpose, because I was stuck there too. And I think, Jess, if you can go back to your values, what do you stand for, why are you in business, and then you'll find your unique selling point. Like mine's all about imperfect action and inspiring you to just fucking do it. There'll be something that you repeat a lot. That you can then go make the purpose of the group, Jess, and maybe start there, because I was stuck like you.
Or even just research all the other groups so that you can determine how to make yours different, like just what Nat's done, because there are so many good ones out there already.
And I don't want to compete
Find what your
against
different,
that.
unique proposition is, and look at that. And think, really try to niche down, the ones that are really niche, not so much business groups, but really niche, they do really well. If you can tap in, if you know your target audience really well, so I'd do a customer target audience, try and work out who they are, how they feel, so that you can capture that in a group. As well. Once you've done that, that helps you, because once people see, oh, that group, oh, that's totally me, I'm there, and then find out what work out what you're going to offer, how many times you're going to work in the group, because groups are hard. They're just as hard as doing a business page, if not harder. Because so if you think about, I always tell my clients, a group is having a party, everyone's at your house and you're in the room.
You're having a great party.
You're in the room. As a business page, you're on the stage and talking to the group. So that's how the business page in the group. So the group is the party at home where you're dishing out drinks and you're in the middle of the room chatting and engaging, and the business page is you're on stage and they're on a field. So that's how it's sort of different.
That's a cool analogy.
Thanks. I just thought about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's also like taking like some cool, like being the cool person at the party, right? So you've got to bring some cool content to the group.
You have to really work on your content. Absolutely.
And actually that could be a fear for someone, like, and actually it was a fear of mine. I know you guys think it's hilarious, but I was scared. What if I open a group and no one comes? What if no one comes to my freaking party? Like, I was actually worried about that with the group.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
There's
just your
no way
own
you
stories and
should have been worried
programming.
about
But I understand that's what people get scared of.
Yeah.
Hey, cool question actually coming, because so Helen has she works with tradies. Go Helen, working with the tradies. Do you know if a business group for a male-dominated industry works as well? I know the women's groups tend to be a little bit more interactive, but wondering if the males would be more standoffish.
Yeah, I mean, definitely in my experience, men, they're just a little bit harder to do, but you can do it. So Rad Dads, we had Will Fleming and his mate. I forgot his name. Sorry, I love you both, but yep. They've got the Red Dads group, and men are engaging. So I think there are a lot of men out there, and that's why Red Dads is really good, because there's not a lot of advocacy for men online. It's very woman dominated. So I really think you could do that. It will be a little bit harder to convince the men to get into a group, but you just need a core 10 people to start with.
Or
and
a good
then
purpose, eh?
Well, that's right, yeah. And you can do it. So Red Dads have started it and they're doing really well. So I don't think it's in the past it would have been, don't work on it, go to LinkedIn or or Twitter, have conversations on Twitter, but I think you can do it on Facebook.
Helen, I think you should just be comfortable with, because you're in the startup of it being, just be comfortable experimenting, give it a go, be imperfect, do version 1, get the tradies in, see what they need to hear, and someone just put here, do it in their lunchtime while they're eating pies and bee, because that's what tradies do.
Yeah.
Okay, they drink tea
and
eat pies.
a lot of humour. Guys, tradies, they love humour. So if you can incorporate humour in there, that's something that they'll, share.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Bex.
Yeah.
So, email marketing, Fee,
Yes,
you know quite a bit about that.
No,
As in, like, you do a lot of it.
I do a lot of it.
And would like you to talk about when you first started out, and I loved that post, it was ages ago, other marketers were contacting you going, you're emailing too much. It's going to be detriment to your business.
Oh man, so many people have emailed me to tell me how I should be running my business, and the one that made me laugh a lot about how they could really help me, and one of the things they would do to really help me get my business off the ground was to stop me from emailing so much. And I remember sitting at my computer. I mean, you always have that doubt.
Yeah.
When someone else tells you what to do, you think, gosh, do they know better? But then at that stage, we were literally running to keep up with our sales and hiring people every day to pack, to put. And I was thinking, well, actually, at the moment, we're doing things right, I think. And one of the things that I think is important to say to people is that if you have got something that people want and that something that you think is of value to them, so if you're providing a service or a product that is going to enrich your customers' lives, why would you not scream about it from the rooftops? Why would you not post about it as much as you are sitting at the computer? Why would you not try and get that message out to as many people as possible? That is the thing that I have lived by, and I don't read any of that.
So how many
stuff
times?
That says
So
post once a day.
how much are you emailing? So
I email sometimes 3 times a day if I've got a really cool thing to offer. But every day, twice a day. So morning and night. And a lot of people unsubscribe. Yeah. But the way that I see it, I get way more subscribers than I do unsubscribers. And the people that stay on are the people that really want to see what I've got.
And they're the people who are your ideal client. They're the people who you want to be as part of the community, as part of the Shine On Club and the VIPs. Yeah. Something on that, as I learnt this from Michelle Morpeth, if you're speaking, I use this a lot from you. She spoke to me about the news. So how often is the news repeated every day? Fucking a lot, let's just be honest, right?
Yeah.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, da-da-da. And so we only actually see it once, right? We only see the news once. So if you only put your message out there or email once a day, well, there's a hell of a lot of people who haven't seen it.
You might miss them.
So I love the repetitiveness.
People don't understand either that you actually advocate for real strong loyalty when you email more. Like once a month, that's 12 emails a year. There's no...
Gosh, that's so little when you say it like that.
Little. Yeah, it's not much. So when I moved from monthly to twice a week, I had a lot of drops-offs. People were just like, wow, this is too much. But the people who have stayed, they all email me back when I send something out. Oh my God, that was so good. You were so funny, and I have a way better, engagement with them than I did when I was once a month.
Yeah.
So I think, the thing is, as a business owner, you have to actually test it out yourself. You have to work it out. Where is the medium for you and what works for you, and then go with that and stick to it and keep, the momentum going. Like everyone can give advice. Sometimes I tell people, look, just do twice a month, because I'm gearing them up to do weekly, and we'll see what the medium is for them. But, the other thing that a lot of businesses don't spend a lot of time marketing their email list or driving people to their email list, and that's a real big mistake, especially in the beginning of your business.
Yeah.
Because by the time you, like me, I was really late. I was telling my clients to have email lists, and then I was sitting there a few years going, I should actually take my own advice.
Builder's house is never built.
Yeah, so I had nothing. So I've spent, the last few years really building my list up, and every day I'm constantly driving people to my email list, and that's why my list is so big now, because I've made that's probably the most important thing for me at the moment, and then I'll post on Facebook and Instagram.
Fee, though, do you reckon the young you would have posted and emailed as much as you are as you now, like further down the business journey? Like you're much more confident around, well, I don't care that what you're telling me to do about my business, and if you want to unsubscribe, cool. Like, do you just feel that you've got a lot more confidence around it?
I don't think I think I question myself every day.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever say that I was confidently doing the right thing. I ask myself every day if I'm sending too many emails or too few, or if I'm posting too much or not enough, or if my products are right and not quite hitting. I think you just, as a business owner, you're constantly questioning yourself.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because I honestly think that people think you get to the end of something and you've got over everything, and it's just not true, is it? It's
not true at all, and things are so changeable. And you sort of carry a weight when you're a business owner with you every day. Is it going to work the same as it did yesterday? But I think, again, just saying, like, the people that have stayed on your list will talk back to you. They will interact with you because they like you, because they want to see what you're doing.
It's a much deeper relationship.
It's much deeper. And the people that joined, I might have 10 sign-ups. One of those people might spend with me every week for the rest of their life. I don't know, but I do know that not all of them are going to be, like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, just like that thing, and my clothes won't be, and your businesses won't be either. Not everybody's cup of tea.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. But they are some people's, and you've got to reach as many people as you can to find those little people that are there with you for the long run. That's what I think anyway. But
a lot of people get scared about the unsubscribes and take it really personally.
Yeah, it is hard not to take it though.
I lost 10,000 in one day. Do you remember that?
I was like, you need to merge, and you're like, I lost 10,000.
So upset. I wasn't upset because I knew I had made a massive mistake, but I was like, I'll be fine. And I know what my readers like, and I definitely now know what they don't like. And because I had a bit of a break, I had a month off. I was just like, you know what, I just need a break. And then the first email back was sell. So I didn't, because my emails are real storytelling. So the next day when I looked and there was like 10,000 dropped off, I was just like, no one loves me,
Yeah, that's hard. That's like a real boom.
But then I was just like, you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
The next day you get over it. I mean, I used to get upset when one person unsubscribed, and now they're moving on. They've grown enough. They don't need to learn anything new from me. I just take it as that. And I find sometimes they just come back. They're like, oh, I really miss your emails. And so a few people have come back. So
it's funny what you said actually about
the hard skin.
Getting the hard skin, and every day, like I email twice a week now, and I used to do once a week, and every time I go to email, I do the same thing, like, what if they're going to be like, far out, Nat, enough of your dirty mouth and your things you stand for and shoving it down my throat. But I have to remember that you got to be here for the right people. Do you know what I mean? That, like I said, scream it out to the right people.
I mean, every business is different as well. I mean, you're very product based. Mine's very personable, and each email that I send out is, if I can get a laugh out of one of my audience, I have a little bit of serious talking about business and then crack up. Yeah. I try to make them laugh and have a bit of a story, and that works for me. That's my jam, and I think that works well. Yours are very punchy and very slap in the face.
Jean would like that.
Yeah.
You've
got to find what
I don't know
works.
why he married me. I'm just a blabbermouth.
No way.
Anyway.
No way.
That's the key, right? The key is you've got to find
you.
out what works for you, what works for your audience, and you have to do trial and error. I remember my very first emails were very business-like. This is the latest news in social media, and I hated doing them. I was just like, oh God, I got to do another email. Oh no, I've got to research.
You forgot to put you in it.
Yeah, I didn't have me
in it
at all. It was very business, very structured, very PR sort of like. And then as soon as I changed it, my list just went pew, you
Yeah.
know. So
Fee, what's the future of Shine On? Do you have any cool plans you can share? Anything like taking over the world domination?
We're all for
No,
world
I mean, I think I'm trying, at the moment, we're just trying to slow, feels a little bit like a freight train.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. I don't know, I think there comes a point where you go, how big?
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
and you're like just one person, and you kind of just, I don't know, I like kicking around at the weekend. I just don't, I don't know. My customers will dictate how big we get.
Yeah, they'll tell us in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but future-wise, I'm lucky. But can I say one more thing about email?
Yes, please.
What I've learnt. So I was always wanting really professional emails.
Oh, yeah.
And I always got your emails, Nat, and thought, my emails are like, that's really basic, because I didn't quite know how to put them together. I just had the MailChimp, and then I've got a new one now that I use, and they're still really basically put together, but I do find that the more time we spend on making them look amazing, the less impact they've had.
yeah, just cut through.
Totally.
Mine
Yeah.
are just text. Mine are just as if I was sending you a personal email.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
That's
do
the same
it.
as yours,
Yeah.
pretty much. And every now and again, I'll put in a link. So mine are just, hey mate, what's happening?
Totally. So any business owners out there that are just questioning your emails, man, like, here we go, I'm talking to this. It's so important to just not put pressure on yourself and just be you, because that's what other people want. They want that in friendship and in relationships and in business.
Yeah.
Sophie, your top 5 business tips to all the businesswomen, because there's a lot of businesswomen watching tonight who are like, can I do
love
this?
her.
Yeah, you've got a lot of fangirls out there, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
and how do you say your packer's name? Vajesh?
Vajesh, yeah.
Vajesh says you're on TV, TVNZ next year, Fee.
Oh, you can come too, Vajesh, okay? We'll sit together. Top 5 tips, did you say? Or top 5 things to...
Yeah, top 5 tips or whatever comes out.
What did you say? What's your question?
So top 5 tips for businesswomen who are watching you.
Aspiring?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, work.
I love that. High five to that. Do the work.
Yeah, work, because shit, this didn't come easy, and man, I've put in probably 70-hour weeks for 10 years. So it's not like being a walk in the park. Delegate.
How nice, Bee.
Yeah, delegate. You can't do it all yourself, and also you're not that clever.
That was from Fee. That is your top meme from Fee. You're not that clever.
You're not that clever.
Yeah.
I had to tell myself that, and that was actually like
Yeah.
a harsh realization for me, that I'm not that clever. I'm clever at sales, but that's actually about it. And 3, I keep banging my rings on. I've got these rings on.
It's all right. I've got
I talk with my hands, so I'm always bing, bing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Fee. I don't do that.
That's why
I do
people
that.
I'm always spilling wine over people. So I talk with my hands, and they're always whoosh. Anyway. 3, do the right thing
Yeah, that's good.
with money and
Yeah.
with tax, and with your staff. Treat them well.
Yeah, treat your stuff well.
Yeah,
Treat your
that's
staff
good.
well. 4, spend money.
Yeah, nice.
Spend money to make money. That was something
Go
that I was
for it.
very fearful of as well. Hire people that are cleverer than you to do things that you can't do, or to teach you things that you don't know.
Yeah.
And 5, keep it fun.
Nice.
Because if there's no fun, there's no point.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right?
it's true.
That's so true.
It's true about being fun.
Yeah, there's no fun. There's absolutely no point to be in business if you're not having fun.
You don't love it.
You don't love it.
If you don't, the thing is, the vibes you give off when you don't love what you're doing.
Oh,
actually
energy people feel it,
Yeah,
eh?
it turns people off,
Yeah.
So make sure you love it as well. Yeah, I think that's important.
It's been so amazing to have you here because
It's been amazing being here.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Can you come back?
you were there's so much about your journey I didn't know, even though like we know each other. There's bits of you I was like, I didn't know that. So it actually all makes sense. Your journeys made a lot of sense tonight.
That's cool.
And I'm just so...
It's been a great journey as well. It's one,
I just see where you were.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
And where you were until you are now, I'm just like, dude, that's just amazing. It's really cool.
It's cool, eh?
Yes.
That's right. All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap up. We have gone over time tonight, but thank you guys for joining us. If you guys have been watching on the replay, welcome. I hope you guys loved it. And it's good to be back in our studio. I'm so glad we're back. We're only back for a short time. We've got a next section is 4 weeks, so make sure you keep tuned. If you do have any questions, Fee, Nat and I are going to be online for a bit, so we will be answering questions if you have any, and if you watch it over the next few days, we'll be replying as well. So thanks for being with us.
And I just wanted to say that it was so awesome to have Fee on because she reiterates values and things that Pauline and I talk about. So the things you keep hearing, the same messages you keep hearing, if you keep hearing them, frickin' start actioning them. Because it's so important that, you're having 3 women who are telling you the same things. Please give them a go. And I just love that too, about having fun. And just before we go, Jean says tip number 6, keep it punchy.
Keep it punchy.
Keep it punchy.
That's going to be the byline for this week. Keep it punchy. All right, see you guys.
See you later, guys. Bye.
See you.
Oh my gosh, how hot are the lights? Are you like sweating?
No, but that's a new thing for me.